San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 24. And he'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's 2nd down. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And they will get the conversion on 3rd down, but the clock, a more pressing factor. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Push him back. Push him back. Get the
First throw of overtime for Purdy. Completes it to Jennings. And he'll be taken down after a gain of 8. And defensively, they'll say you can have that.
8 yards. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 44-yard line.
Overtime, how about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that 2nd overtime in just a moment. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. To throw is Purdy. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And Kittle going to have a 49ers 1st down as he'll get this up to midfield. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
Purdy to throw. That one complete to his receiver, Jennings.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's a 2nd and 8. McCaffrey running up the middle. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Purdy to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Shaping up to be a very efficient opening drive here in overtime.
And can you feel the tension building? Because I'm feeling it. All right, I've got the sweaty palms here with each play because of the enormity of what's going on. Each play means so much in overtime, and they're handling it well as this drive continues.
Flush to his right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Purdy to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as he'll take this down to the 26. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Purdy. Open man is Samuel, complete. Now a timeout called for by the offense. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
And the 49er first down.
So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2nd down and 8. Purdy will set up to throw it here. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Third and 2. Throwing here, Purdy. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And the kick is good. And finally, this one is over. We thought it may never end, but that kick puts the exclamation mark on it. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
So only a field goal on that opening drive of overtime. Will that hold up? We'll find out as the kick's away. On the return, here's Jerome Ford. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone, because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front. Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Watson, his first throw of OT. Oh, and the tackle comes quickly. That's only going to get him a couple.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 8. Now Watson. Into the hands of Cedric Tillman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's one of the bigger receivers in the game, CD, and his size that time certainly helped against double coverage.
Yeah, you're still at a little bit of a disadvantage when you're going against multiple defenders when they're trying to double you and sometimes triple you. But you're exactly right. With his build, he can minimize that disadvantage, and he more than held his own and hauled that one in right there.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Watson to throw.
The pass on 2nd down. He was brought down by brought down back at the 43-yard line.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. That is caught. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run with Chubb. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. A great game, partner. Spectacular finish. They needed at least a field goal to keep the game alive. They do one better. They get it in the end zone and end it.
And I don't know about you, but I'm worn out. That type of a game takes it all out of us as well, not just the guys on the field. What a tremendous finish, and as you noted, were they going to go and try and get 3 and keep the game going? And that wasn't good enough for them. They got the touchdown, and that's why we're able to say goodbye.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's